From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Welcome to this special edition of Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Kevin Thompson. Tonight, a look back at some of our top sports stories, including a documentary about a fight of a lifetime. The documentary showcases the unbelievable story of a world champion jiu-jitsu fighter. It displays the importance of martial arts and how this sport helped a young woman put up the fight of a lifetime.
Ella es una guerrera.
She's a warrior. She has always been a warrior.
She does not stop moving. Like, you can't slow her down, and she breaks a lot of people's rules.
Just knowing that I can beat people up with my bare hands is pretty cool. It's a pretty big ego boost.
Tenía como 2 añitos. Tomó un gas de un encendedor.
She was about 2 years old. She took a breath of lighter fluid. She died. She was resurrected in Mexico. She was a warrior since she was a kid. She has fought for her life all the way to now.
Desde chiquita. Ella ha luchado por su vida hasta ahorita.
Daisy Held is a world champion jiu-jitsu fighter at only 23 years old. Yet Daisy's family's fight began 25 years ago when her parents decided to move from Mexico to the United States.
I pretended to give him a better life and work hard to give him them and help him not passing what I passed through when I was a child. Could not even have a bed for sleep. We was really poor in Mexico. I was working hard in Mexico, but the money is big difference. So that makes me to come here and try to give him a better life to my daughters.
I think he's had to sacrifice a lot. He left a very big, beautiful home in Mexico, but because there isn't a lot of money in Mexico, he decided to come here and started with nothing as a teen. So him and my mom were here working odd jobs here and there, trying to make money until they could start their own American dream.
I do landscaping since I get here 25 years ago, and I do landscape my own for 20 years. They notice that I don't have a workers, and they always telling me, hey, when you need help, just tell us and we can help you. I bring them to the job so they learn how hard it is if you don't stay in school.
It's a hard job. You're in 100-degree weather for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. So a lot of people don't want to do it. So I said, well, why not do it myself? So he lets me help him out the majority of the time so I could train here full time and not have to get a regular 9-to-5 job.
Working with her father allows Daisy to focus on jiu-jitsu, a sport she began following a dark period in her life.
I started because I was in an abusive relationship and decided I don't want to be a part of that anymore, and I kind of wanted to defend myself a little bit. So I picked up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since it's one of the only martial arts that teaches you how to defend yourself off your back. We were together when I was 17 to 19 years old, so I was very young and naive, and he was older and kind of just manipulated me a lot to where I was letting him abuse me, like physically, emotionally, verbally, and then I finally grew out of it and decided I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. The first time and the last time I ever stood up to him was when I came upstairs and I caught him cheating, and he basically told me it was okay and to shut up. And I said, no, this isn't okay. So I slammed the door and I walked out, and he didn't like it. He's like, you leave on my terms, and pushed me down the stairs when we lived on the top floor of the apartment complex. I just looked at him and I was like, this is ugly, and I don't want to be a part of it, and I just left.
I think, like, for any woman that's had an abusive relationship, jiu-jitsu is something that will be extremely empowering and will help them get through that.
It helps a lot because jiu-jitsu was made for the smaller person. Jiu-jitsu is not about strength, it's about technique. So I like the fact that a grown man that weighs 200 pounds can walk into the gym and I can take his back in like a minute. So it feels pretty good.
Following her abusive relationship, Daisy moved on and found her husband, Tyler Held, who competes in jiu-jitsu with her. However, early in their lives together, they encountered a life-changing experience.
A year ago in July 9th to be exact, my husband and I were sitting in the living room watching TV, and we just hear a crazy noise, and we're like, whoa, what was that? We get up, and then our roof just flies off. And then after that, we were freaking out. We're trying to call USAA, and then as I'm on the phone with USAA, it starts raining. So all of our stuff gets ruined.
It was rough, man. Going from having your own house and then having it destroyed, and then living in your mother-in-law's master bedroom because she loves you too much and wants you to have the master bedroom. And I felt like a burden to people.
Luckily, insurance said either we'll pay for the damages, here's a nice check, have a good day, or you guys can fix it. And I was like, well, we just bought the house less than a year ago, so let's keep it, let's fix it ourselves. That happened in July, and we didn't fix our house until October, so a pretty long time.
I think that it was very silent at first. It was hard to see them in that type of place. They lived with me throughout the entire time that we were rebuilding it. And I think that for the first week, it was just very sad and depressing because I see her on the mats. I see her like a fighter, a no-gi world champion.
I would wake up at 5 in the morning, be at work by 6, work a 9 to 10 hour shift, and just come straight here and work until the sun went down. We both just like looked at the house and just started crying when we were done. We were just like, we did it. Like, we built this thing together. It was pretty cool.
I got to see her at such a low point, and I think that's what really made me admire her even more. Because even though there are people who go through tragedies and just leave it as it is, she worked harder and made a better home. And she got back on the mats, and I think that's something very special.
For a family that has gone through so many struggles, everything pales in comparison to the life-threatening medical condition Daisy's mother faced over a decade ago.
Back 2003, actually, with their mom have symptoms with losing weight, losing hair, and we've tried to find out with the doctors what medical condition was so they can take in care.
Because I went about a year without knowing what I had, and I went to different doctors, spent lots of money, and they could never tell me what I had. It was very painful. I couldn't walk, and they told me that I didn't have anything, that it was just arthritis.
A trip to Maricopa Medical Center confirmed an earlier doctor's suspicion. Daisy's mother had lupus.
Remember like 10 different doctors, and they diagnosed lupus. But before that, I spent money, everything. We actually spent 3 months, straight 3 months in the hospital. We almost lost their mom.
My emotions, I had already given up on the hope of living because the doctors say we're already doing everything that we can. We can't do anything more. Your brain infection, the brain is attacking all your organs. So I say, I'd rather be dead than be like that.
I didn't know why it was happening to us, to my mom. I was angry at God, at my dad, at everybody, the hospital. I was upset, sad, probably depressed.
She will tell me, don't give up, Mom. I'm going to win first place. I promise you, I will win first place. Don't give up.
It's hard not having a mom for almost a year. So when I'm going through my highs of competing, I didn't have her there. So I think running up to her, showing her the medals and the trophies made me feel better. Not only her, but me. Just something to make me feel like my mom was still there, kind of proud of me.
She almost passed away. I was there, and she's gone for a moment. And somehow, she's back.
No podía creer, pero
I couldn't believe it. I could hear my family voices. They were telling me, "You're okay, wake up," but I didn't want to. The reason being that I no longer thought I was part of this world.
sí creía que yo ya no estaba en este mundo.
Doctors were able to revive Daisy's mother. She has kept her disease under control for over 5 years. Through all these experiences, Daisy has kept fighting and now embodies all the characteristics of who she truly is, a warrior.
100% my mom gave me my fighting spirit.
Sí, es luchar, por ejemplo, en este caso,
It is fighting, for example, in this case, for my life. She fights in her sport for me because I took her to classes every day and I will take her to train. It was like saying, why I'm not going to give up when I can surprise my mom. Because she always say, I'm going to win, mommy. In every fight, she won first place.
porque ella siempre decía, yo voy a ganar, mami. Yo en las peleas siempre traía primer lugar.
Jiu-Jitsu doesn't just teach you how to defend yourself, it teaches you respect, patience, and so it's helped me through a lot. Like teaching myself that I'm strong enough, it's okay, like to stand up for myself.
With wildfires, a scarcity of water, and other environmental issues facing the Earth today, it's critical to stay up to date with local impacts of a changing climate. That's why we created Elemental, covering sustainability, a multimedia collaboration between public television and radio stations. From climate change to water conservation to renewable energy and much more, Elemental covers the latest in sustainability news. Find our stories on our website, elementalreports.com.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
Stay in the know on the go. At Cronkite News, we work hard to report the facts and keep you updated, whether we're on set or on the scene.
Taking it from the studio to the field. So I'm here in South Phoenix.
In Phoenix, we're just a click away. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Horizon does a good job of explaining the many topics. Ted Simons is, I think, a very good interviewer of having experts coming on his show and asking them questions and getting from them the various viewpoints.
For more information about including Arizona PBS in your future plans, visit azpbs.org/giving.
The 2024 Olympics in Paris will feature 4 new sports: skateboarding, surfing, sport climbing, and even breaking.
And a Mesa native hopes to represent the USA when breaking makes its Olympic debut. Reporter Kyla Wilcher caught up with this b-boy. Kyla?
Yes, 25-year-old Conrad Rodriguez is no stranger to national and international competition. He's competed in the Red Bull BC1 Cypher in Los Angeles, a national freestyling competition, and even won the 2018 World Hip Hop Dance Championship right here in Phoenix. Rodriguez picked up breaking at a young age from his uncles. He remembers walking down the streets of his Mesa neighborhood with a piece of cardboard and a boombox, and learning moves by watching older friends and family. Now the part-time dance teacher hopes to land a spot in the 2024 Olympics. With competition still 5 years away, Rodriguez says he has no idea how Olympic breaking will look.
We still don't know how it's going to be, or how the judge system is going to be, or it's different. Breaking in the Olympics, that's crazy.
But training for the unknown still requires dedication. Rodriguez spends 20 to 30 hours a week practicing and teaching to maintain his clean style. All the practice is worth it when he's breaking, and he says it feels like riding a roller coaster.
If I'm getting a really dope song, I'll go off, I'll get up, and I don't know what I did. You know, I just went blank. I was just listening to the music, you know, so it's lovely. You know, it's freeing. It feels really good.
Rodriguez still has a few years to prepare for the Olympics, so in the meantime, you can find him teaching dancers of all levels how to break at Jukebox Dance Studio in Mesa. Live in the newsroom, Kyla Wilcher, Cronkite News.
With $230 million in renovations to Talking Stick Resort Arena in the works, the Phoenix Mercury is making a move for the 2020 season.
Reporter Kyla Wilcher checked out the Mercury's new home. Kyla?
That's right, the Mercury are moving to Veterans Memorial Coliseum for the 2020 season. The Coliseum has a reputation for its loud and intense environment and is even referred to as the Madhouse on McDowell. I checked out the unveiling of the return of the Madhouse.
Go Mercury!
Next season, the Mercury will take up residence at the original home of Arizona professional basketball. Veterans Memorial Coliseum hosted the Phoenix Suns from their inaugural season in 1968 until 1992.
Finding a temporary venue was an important choice for our organization to make, and having the opportunity to add to the history of the Madhouse on McDowell, which was created by Al McCoy, the Suns radio announcer, made this the right place.
Mercury center Brittany Griner first set foot in the Coliseum today. She's excited about her new home court and hopes the move helps expand the Mercury fan base.
So I know we always have home court advantage, I feel like, with our fans, but even here I think we're going to be able to yell them out of the gym.
This is the first basketball game in the Coliseum since the Suns took on the Portland Trail Blazers in the 1992 NBA playoffs. Former Suns center Mark West, who played in that playoff series, says there is no environment quite like the Madhouse.
My hope is that you bring a championship to this building. It deserves one. You're definitely a team that can do that, and I wish you all the luck in the world.
General Manager Jim Pittman says the Mercury plan to add a new scoreboard and sound system, and even put up the team's championship banners in the Coliseum, all to make it feel like home.
With the fans virtually right on top of the action, combined with the amenities the Mercury will add to the building, and the nostalgia of basketball's return, we are confident in the home court advantage that awaits us.
The Coliseum will host preseason, regular season, and playoff home games for the 2020 WNBA season. The team is bringing its own court to help make it a smooth transition. In the newsroom, Kyla Wilcher, Cronkite News.
After finishing 3-13 last season, the Arizona Cardinals have made a complete overhaul with a new head coach and a rookie quarterback.
And the buzz is all about their high-flying offense. Reporter Kyla Wilcher went to training camp to check out these changes. What can we expect this season from this Cardinals offense, Kyla?
Now, this is definitely a year of possibilities, a lot of question marks, and a lot of potential. And with the Cardinals in their second week of training camp and their first preseason game coming up in a week, the team looked for leadership from their new head coach and quarterback. For the Cardinals, rebounding from a 3-13 season required some new faces on offense. At training camp on Wednesday, the spotlight was on #1 overall draft pick Kyler Murray, preparing for his NFL debut at quarterback.
Kyler is a very cerebral player, very smart young man, so he understands if there's anybody you're going to take knowledge to and soak it up, that's the guy.
First-year head coach Cliff Kingsbury is transitioning from a stint at Texas Tech University, where he was known for running the high-powered, up-tempo air raid offense. Now he hopes to blend some veteran talent, like 11-time Pro Bowler Larry Fitzgerald, with fast-paced Murray.
You know, it's a new offense for Larry, and I think he wants to see it from Kyler's eyes and his view and learn the way Kyler's processing it. And so I think it's been a lot of really good back and forth between those two guys.
Former Arizona State running back DJ Foster is in his third season with the Cardinals. As a player who's seen a different offense every year in the pros, Foster says this group has real promise.
New coaches, new faces, new players, so it's kind of starting from square one, but it's exciting. You know, a lot of guys have a lot of energy, trying to go prove themselves and make the team.
Foster can see action at both running back and wide receiver. Having Kingsbury in control has helped him grow in his multiple positions.
It's been great, an offensive-minded coach, and me being an offensive player, it's awesome to pick his brain and see how he runs his offense. And you know, just the whole dynamic of it has been fun to learn so far from them and be a part of.
With such significant changes, there's excitement around the team, thanks in large part to the dynamic Murray. All eyes are on the Cardinals, even the national ones.
What we've seen the first week of training camp is something that is probably not abnormal for him. I think it'll be different once we start seeing live competition in the preseason games and, of course, week one. But everything that we've heard about Kyler Murray certainly lived up to the hype here so far in training camp.
Murray, Kingsbury, and even veteran newcomer Terrell Suggs have spurred hype around the team. For the offense, living up to expectations means keeping everyone guessing what the Cardinals will do next.
You just have to know the offense, you know, across the board and just be ready for anything. You know, anything can be called and thrown your way, so keeps you on your toes, and that's the whole point. If it keeps us on our toes, we're keeping the defense on their toes.
The Cardinals will try out their new offense at their first preseason game next Thursday when they host the Los Angeles Chargers at State Farm Stadium. In the studio, Kyla Wilcher, Cronkite News.
Terrell Suggs, DJ Foster, and Zane Gonzalez are all currently Cardinals. However, they all share a similar route to the NFL that had a stop in Tempe beforehand. Take a look.
It's getting intense. It's starting to pick up. I mean, the normal training camp energy, so it's exciting to get back out there.
The Arizona Cardinals continued training camp yesterday, and among those taking the field were 3 former Arizona State Sun Devils. Running back DJ Foster, an Arizona native and Saguaro High School alum, will be given an opportunity to play for his hometown, an experience he considers a blessing.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, I've went to high school, college, and now coming back for the professional. I mean, it's such a blessing to be able to be a part of this community for so long and being able to see different people on my journey. So it's amazing to still be able to go back to ASU, being able to go back to Saguaro, went to high school, and just still be in touch with so many people and great coaches and teammates, friends, and family.
Along with Foster, ASU alum and kicker Zane Gonzalez will start as the Cardinals' place kicker to begin the season. Gonzalez is looking forward to all of the newly acquired young talent heading into his second year with the team.
I mean, the culture's been amazing. We got a whole lot of new players, new coaching staff. Atmosphere is amazing, and I think it's really competitive.
Foster and Gonzalez are joined by ASU and Hamilton High School alum Terrell Suggs.
I know he's excited to be home. You know, he's an Arizona guy as well, so it's awesome to watch him move around. I mean, I think year 16, 17, you know, to watch him still have that energy is just, it's incredible. I mean, I'm on year 4 and I'm limping, and I see this guy flying around, so it's fun to watch him go out there and have that energy, and you see why he's, you know, a Hall of Fame player.
The Cardinals continue to prepare for their first preseason game against the Los Angeles Chargers at 7 p.m. on August 8th. In Glendale, Gabriel Moreno, Cronkite News. With their young new roster, the Cardinals will look to improve from last season's 3-13 record.
The Arizona Coyotes have at times expressed their displeasure with playing at Gila River Arena. Now, another Valley team may have to call it home.
Cronkite News reporter Gabriel Moreno joins us to explain which team may be looking for a change in scenery.
Talking Stick Resort Arena, then known as America West Arena, hosted the Arizona Rattlers' first home game in 1992. But to begin the 2020 season, the Rattlers will call a new arena home.
I'm thinking that Glendale is going to offer a big long-term contract to stay here, and I'll continue to support them.
Here being Gila River Arena in Glendale, where the Arizona Rattlers lost the Indoor Football League's United Bowl Championship Saturday. But Gila River Arena is not their regular home. That's Talking Stick Resort Arena, their home field since the downtown Phoenix venue opened as America West Arena in 1992. Talking Stick was not available Saturday because of an event conflict, and it will not be available to them for the next 2 years as the arena undergoes a $230 million renovation. The most likely option at this point, Gila River, something IFL Commissioner Michael Alshouse is excited about.
The good news is that the Rattlers are going to still be here in the greater Phoenix area and going to be here for a long time.
The relocation would move the Rattlers out to the home of the Arizona Coyotes, who have struggled with fan attendance. Rattlers president Chris President views the potential move to the West Valley as a growth opportunity and a chance to spread the Rattlers' success outside of Phoenix.
We look at the pot as half full, not half empty. So whichever move we make, and let's say that it's out here, even though the predominant piece of our fan base come from a different part of town, we look at that as a development opportunity as well. And aside from telling us what we can't do out here, what can we do to develop that base of fans that may be sitting here waiting to come to games?
The Rattlers are also contemplating a move to Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum in downtown Phoenix. In the studio, Gabriel Moreno, Cronkite News.
A local family-run sporting goods store seems to be keeping up with the big leagues, especially in the slow summer season. Our reporter Emmy Keenan had the chance to catch up with the business owners. Emmy?
You are absolutely right, Sabina. The C&S Sporting Goods store here in Phoenix has been around for 8 years now. Ran by a husband and wife, the two say that their local business can compete with any large chain.
A really neat thing is the trade-in opportunity. And buying used, you save a ton of money if and we only carry good quality used equipment. We compete with the big box stores. Anybody can come in here and feel confident they're going to get the best deal. We price match anybody. Anybody online, Dick's Sporting Goods, if it's the same item, we match it.
This sporting goods store has it all. But the main thing customers love to see is one special employee.
That's our dog Buddy, Springer Spaniel. He's been coming in since he was 8 weeks old. So just the cutest, nicest dog you'll ever meet. But yeah, he's usually off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but usually he's here the rest of the time. People will come to the store just to see Buddy.
While this one seems to be paid in treats, it seems that this local business is thriving off of its family-run environment. In the studio, Emmy Keenan, Cronkite News.
That's it for this special edition of Cronkite News. Thanks for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.